the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies.
All right. In Lakesh Alakim, welcome to tonight's transmission. As we are tying in Clubhouse as well as Instagram, YouTube, as well as Facebook. And this is an incredible session. So those of you who are listening are truly in for a treat. We are going to be talking about further the journey of the galactic archetypes. And these are different expressions of the creator because they embody kin numbers, and a kin is just an expression of the creator, but its origin is one of the 20 dynamic frequencies of light. Now, why is this, important? The light is the way for you to access the most amount of consciousness. The light is the way for you to access the Akashic records. So as you understand the language of light and how it corresponds with your spirit and how your spirit corresponds with your body through your will, through the transmission of intuition, now you see how we're linked to all these different aspects of the self. And so now because of that, we're in an incredible position to evolve. Now, when we're just working from one dimension, we're unable to evolve. Okay, because we're just working from the physical. And a lot of us, we gauge what we're able to do based on our physical capabilities. All right. We handle stress. We deal with our spirituality on a physical basis. And as a result, we're very limited and we expire versus inspire. So when we're in spirit, nothing goes wrong. We just keep advancing and advancing and advancing. So when we're able to understand that this light is the key to evolving, this light is the key to enlightenment, now these archetypes have more meaning to what you are able to do in the here and now in this physical body, right? Because in the physical body right now, without the light, without the spirit, we are really, right, just a program for the artificial matrix. All right. And so the programs that are offered to us are different jobs, wife, husband, worker, mosque leader, pastor. These are different roles that keep the order in the matrix, but it doesn't necessarily put you in a position to evolve. So when I realized that evolution is the solution, and I realized that this was a very viable pathway, studying these archetypes to reach different states of enlightenment, I was all in. And as a result, over the last 8 years, I've experienced quantum leap after quantum leap after quantum leap after quantum leap. And not only that, I'm able to explain it probably in a much simpler term and way than I could probably 8 years ago. All right. So I want to share some of those things with you that I took advantage of when I first got started with this. And so now, 18 semesters of teaching this later, now 875 plus one-on-one coaching sessions later had showed me not just how I understand the knowledge, but how to help other people integrate this knowledge into their life and advance their life by advancing their consciousness as well. We got countless people who have been able to do that. All right, so let's get on into it. I want to start with the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. And those of you, whether you align with prayer or not, it's a very powerful way to reach the heart and minds of people that you can't physically talk to, or they don't necessarily jive with you. They don't roll with you. They can't receive what you say physically. And so me knowing that, instead of me trying to force my words upon somebody, I'll pray for them. And this prayer that I'm about to do, it really brings things into vibrational alignment so that you can be the highest expression of yourself as you carry out your motherly duties or your fatherly duties, your wife or husband duties, as you carry out your job or your business. You see, as you walk in the streets, it acts as a layer of protection, a force field around you to protect you, because once you know your galactic purpose, right, and you're now carrying out that purpose on earth, you're no longer a number, right? You have a purpose, so you just can't be removed from the equation. Okay, so that's just kind of some insight as to what we have going on. So let's go with the prayer. All right, from the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right actions so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. And from the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right. And so Ayum Hunaku Eva Maya E Maho means all hail the harmony of mind and nature. So now, instead of merging your mind with the programs, the artificial intelligence, we now are allowing our mind to expand into the power of nature and the power of synchronicity to work on our behold. And so now when we realize that, we can move with a lot, what I call dynamic precision in terms of what our intentions are and what it is that we expect to materialize on this earthly plane. Ashe? All right. Ashe and Asheo. All right. So also, we are in the what we call the overtone wizard, the white overtone wizard moon or year, I would say, This is the solar cycle, the year of timelessness and supreme receptivity. So you want to think about this like, okay, supreme receptivity means I need to be really open to receiving something powerful and dynamic. That's what that means to me. Okay. So are you in supreme receptivity, or are you a great giver and a poor receiver? Well, this is where you want to flip it. You want to flip it and remove your blockages from receiving, because many a times we don't want to owe people and things of that nature, but this is different. This is already yours. You've just been blocking it for this other experience. So have supreme receptivity. And this being a leap year, we've uncovered a lot of treasures that will help you advance your consciousness. And as you advance your consciousness, you're able to magnetize more abundance and prosperity through your health, wealth, and relationship and well-being all together. Okay. So with that being in the case, we are in the last, we call it plasma of the galactic hawk moon. The galactic hawk moon asks the question. Here it is. Do I live what I believe? Now, this is an important question, because it's not a beat up session if you don't live what you believe, but it's an opportunity to change it. Because before you set an intention, the last thing that you want to do is send a conflict out into the universe, into the ethers vibrationally, because you're going to return a spiritual and physical equivalency of the vibration that you sent out. And this is a heart vibration. It's how you see yourself in your heart. Our mouth will quickly say, yeah, I live what I believe. I'm always on time. I do this and I do that. Yeah, I know. But do you have one story, or do you tell everybody a different story, a different version of yourself? Do you really live what you believe in its totality? And if you don't, the reason why this question is so profound, you got an opportunity to make it right before you start setting the intention of what you want to do. Now, the next moon, the next time we get on will be tomorrow night. We won't be in the galactic moon, the galactic hawk moon. We'll be in the solar jaguar moon. So these tones, the galactic tone deals with integrity. The solar tone deals with the power of intention. Now, your intention means nothing if it's not backed by integrity. So you got 28 days to ask yourself the question. That's different than saying it's February or March. It's different than saying it's Black History Month. It's different than saying that. It's saying to yourself, to your own cosmos, wait a minute, what am I about? And if I'm in conflict with what I believe, what kind of message am I sending out vibrationally into the ethers? And what kind of experience is that going to create in my life? I can tell you, if you're in a conflict, you're going to bring back circumstances that cause you to realize that conflict being true. All right. So we're on the 28th plasma. We use plasma in place of the word day because we're not in the days. Okay. We're not programming. It's schematics, but we're not in the days. Who wants to walk around in the days? And if you are, that's when the illusions seem real, and what's real seems to be an illusion. So you don't want that. Okay. So the plasma is called celio. We're talking about energy. And this is the energy where you discharge the mental electronic and neutronic energy in your heart and mind at the core of Earth. Now, what does that mean when I say that? It's a scientific term, but it's clear your mind, clear your heart of what? All your judgments and idiosyncrasies, right? Because every time we get to that space and we clear the heart and the mind, we now make room for new energies to come in to take us to higher levels. All right. So this is closely linked to the heart chakra. All right. And so if you're going to meditate on this energy today, you want to focus on your heart chakra and see what messages you receive. Okay. We're also tying in and synchronizing the we're synchronizing the 260-day cycle. This is called the Zolkin. Now, this is a spiritual calendar. It's used to access cosmic memory. All right. So on this calendar, this is where the kin numbers come from. We're on kin number 137 out of 260. Now, the more you get into that, you'll see what each of these 260 expressions represent and how you can evolve by reading them and practicing the different attributes on a daily basis. All right, so we're on kin number 137. This kin is called the red resonant earth. Let me read to you the affirmation that's associated with this. The affirmation for this kin reads as follows: I channel in order to evolve, inspiring synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of universal water. Seems pretty general, right? What does that mean? Well, I channel. So if you're a channel, what are you channeling? Well, we're in the magical wave spell of the magician. And the magic is coming from being able to discern and determine the illusions from the absolute truth or the truth, right? And so we're channeling the energy of magic to enlighten us to see these illusions so that we can evolve, right? Evolve. And when we evolve, we become God over our circumstances. All right. The next step in this affirmation is inspiring synchronicity. Now, this is meaning you're inspired or you get in a spiritual state by aligning with the synchronicities. So all you have to do is be conscious and aware of the synchronicities, and you're going to receive inspiration. And what I've discovered is when you're inspired, you don't get tired. When you're in a state of inspiration, nothing goes wrong. When you're in spirit. All right. I seal the matrix of navigation. So now you're navigating as the spirit on the planet. You're navigating all your affairs. You're incorruptible at this point in the matrix. With the resonant tone of attunement and everything that attunes with you and you attune with this in this spiritual state is what you're going to focus on. Everything that you do not resonate with, you don't. I am guided by the power of universal water. Now, this is being guided by purification so that the purified energy can flow. And as long as that flow, you can love unconditionally. All right, so I'm going to say this 2 more times. I explained it and to lock it in. I channel in order to evolve, inspiring synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of universal water. One more time to lock it in. I channel in order to evolve, inspiring synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of navigation. All right. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right. So let's continue. I want to read you something about the navigator or the earth archetype. This is the 17th archetype, one of the 17th dynamic frequency of light from the solar system that's in a holarchic template that we can follow to help us evolve or help us remember to evolve. So number 17, the navigator. I am the navigator, coded by red earth. 17 is my number. My insignia are the harmonic seals of the planet mind and star mind returning to source. I am the invisibility of all time and consciousness. I hold the maps of celestial origin and follow the signs of synchronicity on behalf and behold of cosmic evolution. My crown is the interdimensional portal of the galactic life whole. The 13 and 7 code is above and below. In the center is the 441. You're going to learn about 441. We're in the 441st year of the Gregorian calendar. That's why this is such a dynamic time for those of you who don't know. And on either side, the 11 and 27 keys to the synchronic power of 7. Synchronic lenses allow me to see all things radially, not linearly. I am evolution in motion. I am the skilled star traveler, guided by telepathic frequencies that hold stars and planetary systems in order. The galactic compass is my steering wheel, keys to the knowledge of galactic navigation, whose signs are the directions for every traveler of time. To know me is to know the language of the stars. Woo! I want to read to you the definition of a synchronistic human so that you can get hooked in to what it's all about. To synchronize, be moved from the information age to the telepathic age of our experience. The synchronistic human defined as someone who is able to be multidimensional while unifying the energy from the synchronicities of natural time cycles towards the holonomic evolution of not just humanity, but Mother Earth and the galactic whole, which is systems inside of larger systems on an energetic level. The Earth is just another version of the body. The solar system is another version of the Earth. The universe, the galaxy, they're just all different versions of consciousness on an energetic level of the self. And as we plug into that, now we can evolve to higher planes and deeper into memory and use more of our cosmic gifts and our galactic powers to help us through. Ashe, right? That's what we're doing here. So how many of you see the value in being able to advance yourself into more of an extrasensory and telepathic being as the norm versus using these smartphones and laptops and these different search engines to help you find fragments of information? Why not just tap into the whole thing? It's available. If you're on the table and average is on the table and excellence is on the table, how can you ever settle for average? How can you ever settle for that? Right? So I'm taking excellence all day long and I'm applying it to everything and every time, every minute, every second in my life. And guess what I'm going to get in return? Excellence. Excellence every second. Excellent every minute. There's 1,440 minutes in one day. 1,440 minutes. What are you doing with your precious minute? Are you spending time talking about somebody else? I do some of that sometimes, and I catch myself. I spent too much time talking about other people. And not a lot, though, but I spent too much time. I need to focus a little bit different. I need to focus on advancing. So you learn how to take inventory of yourself and be a person of self-governance. Right? And that's how you become more productive. All right. So let's look into the Mayan Oracle. So we're going to go into the Mayan Oracle and learn a little bit more about this archetype, the Earth, also known as the Navigator, the 17th dynamic frequency of light, and the solar seal known as the Earth. All right, so the spiritual name of the Earth, also known as the Navigator, is Kaban, C-A-B-A-N, Kaban. All right, and Kaban holds a very unique energy, and it's really powerful because it talks a lot about evolving. Now, we're also going to talk about the shadow wisdom because it's the shadow wisdom that's blocking us from accessing our powers. All right, so the pronunciation is Kaban. Let's talk about the qualities. Everybody loves talking about the qualities. So let's talk about the qualities. The qualities of Kaban is centeredness. That's good. So it's okay to be self-centered. That means everything starts with you. That means you moved into self-acceptance where you are the source and the creator of your experience. That's self-centered, but that's not selfish. All right. Synergy. Who do you get around that you feel the synergy working with them? If you feel it, work with them some more. Versus conflict, conflict after conflict, right? Synchronicity, right? Earth force. galactic alignment, earth keeper, fluid world resonance, clue tracking, crystal healing, shield, plant and herb wisdom, medicine ways. The number is 17. The color is fuchsia. The element is earth. The direction it initiates from the east. The shadow wisdom of this particular archetype states, focusing on past and future, not being in the present. How many of you, people are talking to you and you're kind of thinking about, dang, I got to pay this bill. Wait a second. What did so-and-so say earlier? And somebody's talking to you right there. It might be your children, right? Your children talking to you and your mind is drifting. Are you really present? Or you let's just say, in a relationship, you're going on your date night and you're not present. You're on TikTok, you're looking at your phone. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Get me the same thing get me the same thing that you getting. Yeah. You want something to drink? Water with lemon. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. See, you're not present. You're not in the present moment. So you're not able to savor the moment. Okay. Not being present in the present moment. Over interpreting signs. Woo! How about that for conspiracy theorists? You got to over interpret this and add this to it. That's why when I tell people stuff, I say, listen, don't add nothing and don't take nothing away. It's perfect just the way I'm saying it, exactly the way it needs to happen. Right? Because once we give it our version and put our spin on it, it might not work the same way as it does, as it's been came from a person that's proven it to work, whatever that may be. All right. Over interpreting signs, symbols, dreams, and visions. All right. So over interpreting is right in line with overthinking. How many of y'all are overthinkers? I mean, you worried about worrying, right? You like, all right, hold on. So if this happens, then I need to make sure I do the next step and the next step and the next step in case this happens. But what if they trick me and go this way? I didn't expect that. So let me go ahead and go this. Okay, you're going to wear yourself out that way. You're going to stress yourself out. You're going to have high blood pressure. How many of you do that overthinking and have high blood pressure or some kind of ailment that you're dealing with? Because the energy is not centered. All right, now I'm not telling you not to be strategic. I'm not telling you not to be strategic, but I am telling you, right, to be strategic, and I am telling you not to overthink. But overthinking, watch this, is different from critical thinking skills. In fact, critical thinking skills is a critical success factor for you being able to accomplish whatever you want. It's called thinking outside the box. And then you get to the point where there is no box, right? But being able to look at the depth, critical thinking looks at the depth of it, not all these scenarios that could never happen. Okay, so I just want to clear that. Hopefully that helps somebody. Jumping to conclusions. Woo, this is a big one, right? Jumping to conclusions. You know, another name for jumping to conclusions are triggers. Triggers. Those triggers gonna wear you out, man. Triggers. I got triggered. Why'd you shoot them folks? Man, he said something about my mama. It triggered me. I pulled the trigger. Right? You know, why did you do road rage? Right? Why did you cuss that person out? They're not your issue. Triggered. Right? So jumping to conclusions is you already think you got something figured out before you got facts. And a lot of what you got figured out is the trauma that you had before. And it feels like that same thing. So I know what's going to happen next. So let me go ahead and get ready because you ain't going to get me like you got me last time. And I'm not telling you not to respond. I'm telling you not to react. And don't allow yourself to be triggered. There's a difference between responding versus reacting. Let me tell you what responding looks like. Okay, so what you're saying, right, is that the reason why you didn't show up for the meeting that we needed you at was because you had something happen in your family and you informed us, but we didn't get the message. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. You think you sent it to the wrong email or okay. And so now you look at, well, what email did you send it to? Can you show me a receipt where it came back undeliverable? Oh yeah, here's a picture of it right here. And this is the timestamp on it. Okay, I can let you off the hook for that. I ain't got to be triggered like, see, I knew that they was going to mess this up. That's just an example, right? This happens to jump into conclusions with your spouse or your children all the time because you immediately assume that you got it figured out so good that you already know the next step after the next step and the next step. And you got to investigate a little bit deeper. Do not just go by your feelings and emotions because that can lead you there, but you need the detail so that you can make the next moves, the right moves, and not overreact and then make an excuse and say, well, I didn't know that. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have overreacted. But people lose jobs, they lose relationships, they lose trust in children. It's too valuable. Trust is too valuable to lose, to just be triggered into something and jump to a conclusion and keep jumping to conclusions. Okay? Make sure you got the right data and evaluate all the data and then make a determination. All right? So shadow wisdom, non-identification with the earthly existence. Now, this is a big one. Woo, let me get on this for a minute. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Well, that could be a conflict. All right? You can create a conflict with your body that way. You don't want to be in your body now. But you know what? Your body is experiencing the matrix. Your body's experiencing, the karma or the responsibilities is created through children, through relationships, through contracts and all kind of stuff. So to say you don't want to be here, you don't understand the purpose why you came here in the first place. So you got to get that down because you'll not even want to be in the body. And so why would you be as an invisible, etheric, spiritual being? Why would you incarnate, right, through your parents, right, your pair of entities, right, to get you into the physical? Why would you do that and then get in the physical body and then say, I don't want to be in the body? Now, let me tell you the value in being in the body. The body can manifest physically on the planet. As a spirit, you can't. The spirit can't manifest. That's what it uses the body for. So now you get to be the spirit in the body and see the different variations of consciousness as a God or God essence in the body to create whatever you want on the planet. So to now deny the body that was given to you to move through this process, it creates a conflict. Now you don't know if you're coming or going. And then the circumstances that you're going to show up is going to make you feel like you don't need to be on this planet. That can lead to depression, and that can lead to, destroying your avatar, or i.e. committing suicide. Okay, so you got to be very careful with that. Let's look at the shadow transformation on what to do. It says, be centered in the present moment. So like right now, I know that 3/4 of you are multitasking. We talking about evolution, and you got this in your ear, you're washing dishes, you're driving, you're doing 2 or 3 other things. Hey, putting the kids to bed right now. Get into bed. I told you to get into bed. Hold on, what did they just say? All right, I'll listen to the replay. But go ahead, get in the, I told you you're supposed to be in the bed at 8:30. So we got to plan different, right? Because when you're multitasking, you spread yourself thin, and then you don't understand the centeredness of the knowledge so that you can operate with what I'm talking about, dynamic precision. So I'm laser beam focused when it comes to evolutionary content, right? Now, if I'm washing dishes, I can talk on the phone at the same time. If I'm got a show on in the background, I ain't watching it. I don't really watch TV like that. But if I got that in the background and I'm sweeping the floor and I'm talking to my 6-year-old son, okay, great. That's multitasking, right? Or if I need to respond to a text message, all right? If it's a personal text message, I may not need to be as detailed. If it's a business text message, I might have to sit down on the couch and say, hold on a minute, let me focus for a second. Okay, so what I'm telling you is that it's very important that you know when to focus and know when to be distracted, when to allow yourself to be distracted. Okay, so be centered in the present moment. There's 1,440 of them in one day. So it only takes you a second. It only takes you a second to go into a different direction. And them other 59 seconds, you'll be surprised what you'll get done if you cut down some of the length of your conversations and change what you're talking about to what you're being about and what you're doing about being versus talking about what we're fixing to do, right? So with that, observe without drawing conclusions. Look at that. You know, so what's another word for observation? Surveillance, right? That's a deeper level. So now, what do you look like when nobody is looking? What are you doing when nobody's looking? You see, that's where integrity comes in. So when we look at observing a situation and making sure that we got all the details in place to make an informed decision about things, that's very important. If you go by feeling alone and your feelings have not been purified and they're based on past bad experiences and traumas, you're going to err 75% of the time. You're not going to be right. That 25%, you're going to make it like 75%. But if you really track yourself, you're going to say, hey, I was off again. But it'll work this way, and we'll flip it on people. Y'all ever have somebody gaslight flip it on you? They're flipping on you. Well, it's still your fault. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, you didn't, I tell you what, it's still your fault because you didn't send me a reminder text, but you knew about it. I know I knew about it, but you said you're going to send a reminder text. And if you would have sent that reminder text, I would have been there. It's not my responsibility to send you a reminder text about anything. If you want to be where you want to be, you're going to be there because you want to be there. Right? Come on, let's talk about it. That's why we're talking about the shadow wisdom and understanding. Let me tell you, if you get into the characteristics of these archetypes, it will take you places. You will get the answers that you never had, and you will walk with more confidence because the image that you see yourself is much more powerful than a poor old wretch or whatever. Some religions make you feel like you're not even worthy of having anything. Not even your body. Well, I don't come from that same school of thought. My process is you got the unlimited power of God in you. And then when you put that power first, you can do anything, period. Period. And anything means everything. So why do I need to limit myself into reductionism? Because I need to fit into an artificial matrix that's not designed to hold all the 100 plus million years of memory that's in my brain. That's not my problem. All right. So this is what we're doing here. And I'm helping to trigger your memory. Now, you want to trigger anything. Don't trigger anger, jealousy, envy, sadness, depression, pride. Trigger your memory, your cosmic memory. And then everybody better watch out. As I always give the example about the lion. You know, it ain't remembered it's a lion yet when they let a little stick figure man hit it with a whip in a little fragile plastic chair. You can eat up that chair and the man in one bite, and the whip too. You know? And but when that memory gets triggered for that one hit on the temple, that lion says, "Oh, you done did it now." You know, I'm seeing a little clearly now. You know what? I realized something. I thought you were the lion and I was the little stick figure man. But I'm the lion and you hitting me. Now I'm going to give you a roar so that you can stop before I eat you. That's the warning sign, right? Then after that, it's fair game. It's on. That individual is going to get mauled in front of the people. And that's what happens to us sometimes. We messing with the wrong people and we trigger their memory, and then they snap, right? Trigger turns into snapped, right? So it's very important that, to do things without drawing conclusions. Observe without drawing conclusions. Just put data together so that you can see the full picture and work in full pictures and not these fragments. All right, let's go to another shadow transformation. Allow the larger pattern to emerge. So there's a larger version of yourself that is in place that when you see it, it's going to help you overcome obstacles. So how many of you got circumstances, right, that you really are tired of? It's causing you stress, anxiety, right? It may come in the form of relationships, jobs. It might be money crunch, or somebody was going to give you loan somebody money, they was going to pay you back and they didn't pay you back, and it put you in a crunch. It all happens. But let me tell you something. When we allow the larger pattern, right, know that the solar system has our back, right? The power, synchronicity, and all of nature, all of the species on the planet. So when I set an intention that's good for all the species on the planet, they have my back in bringing that into fruition, the larger pattern. So I deal a lot in patterns. That's why I follow the cosmology, and I can foresee and foretell what's going to happen before it happens, because I've already factored out what the patterns are going to do. And it's very accurate. It's very accurate. Now, I've been doing that for 8 years, and I've been blown away at watching the results. Being able to predict this is going to probably happen if this pattern, and that's according to the pattern that is unfolding right now. That pattern changes. I got to change what I'm saying. But rest assured, if that pattern plays out, I can predict what's going to happen next on a lot of levels. And I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you. That's part of my observation before I make important decisions. All right. Last one. Remember your choice to come to earth. Spiritual beings having a human experience only. No, you're not just a spiritual being having a human experience. You're a human, right? A divine will in the human having a human experience. You're a spiritual being, right? Or energy having a human experience. And you're energetic and light being having a human experience. Right? What is the energy and light is? Well, the radioplasmas, the 7 radioplasmas in your corpus callosum are closely linked to what? Your 7 chakras. That's where the energy and light is catalyzed or housed. That produces your auric field. Okay? So that's the energetic part of you that we don't acknowledge a lot of time. That magnetizes whatever you experience it in your day-to-day reality. Okay? So you got to remember your choice to come to earth in this unique time of transformation. So there is a divine reason why you even came to this planet. Is this the only planet? And it's hundreds of billions of galaxies. So do you mean to tell me that it's only one with Earth, like Earth, that has life on it? Are you really going to tell me that? Okay. If you told me that, I'll respect your opinion, but I would respectfully disagree with you. Because just because we're here doesn't mean this is the only place like this. And so in remembering, the energy of our spirit and the soul being the energy of light, the Akashic records, can help us go deep into our mind about where our soul has been and bring more meaning to why we're here now in this place and space. All right. So it's very important to remember that you came here and develop an avatar or been able to be nurtured into having an avatar through your mother's womb. Okay. So now what? Now we got to remember what we came here for. Right. That's the state of amnesia that we're trying to work through. And the conditioning, soon as we get here, the shots and this and that to keep us from remembering, it's like some sort of paradox, right? We need the matrix to be intense enough to trigger our memory so we know we're God over the matrix, not God in the matrix. And that's what you want to understand. And as you do, then your affairs will become a lot easier to handle. You will become easier to handle. You won't get depressed as easy because you'll understand that you already have power over this. You just hadn't remembered yet. But once you put yourself back together, you see how you dismembered and how you're remembering, and now you have power over your experience. Okay, so that's the shadow transformation. So think about this. Focus it on past and future, not being in the present. If you do that, I want you to take some time right now or when you get off here and write different scenarios where you realize, dang, I probably wasn't in the present moment. That's why you might have made a decision or something. You didn't tell me that, but were you really listening? Were you present? You didn't say that. Yes, I did say it. So now you got to record everything. I got receipts. See, I said it. Oh, so what was the problem? You wasn't in the present moment. So write down some things that you're not in, that you wasn't in the present moment about. Because what do you do when you have a hard time being in the present moment? Write this down. Stop, look, and listen. Remember, they taught us that in what? What? Preschool? Head Start? When you're crossing the street, when you're crossing into a new situation, what? Stop, look, and listen. It didn't say talk, right? Stop. We need to be quiet in there, but we got one mouth, we got two eyes and two ears. And if we listen and watch in that proportion, we definitely are going to be able to get far. Stop, look, and listen. Stop what you're doing. Center yourself and say, I need to be present. My child is saying something to me. I need to be present. My spouse is saying something to me. I need to be present. I'm up here under my table scrolling on TikTok while my boss is talking to me. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, yeah, I had a report to you. And then talk about how they did you wrong when they downsized you. And half the time, you wasn't even present. You on the phone half the day at your job, wondering why, like they can't listen to you. I got in trouble one time. I remember back in the 1900s, I was at my job and I was doing conference calls. They fooled around and gave me like 2-3 phones on different lines. So I remember I had about 6 or 7 guests on this conference call, and I had them all holding on different lines. I had like a switchboard phone, and I had 2 of them. And they called me in the office, and they said, "Are you doing some kind of business or something?" I said, "Why do you ask?" She said, "Because we noticed that all the lines are tied up, and we've been watching you." I said, "You have?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Of course I got something going on." "Well, you're not going to be able to do that here because your time here is supposed to be for here." I said, "You are right." And I'll gone in 2 weeks. Right? They were right. I can't get mad at them. I can't get mad at them. They were right. And so I graced myself and left and did what I needed to do. Okay? So it's all about keeping things in decency and order. Stop, look, and listen. What do you do when you have a hard time being in the present moment? Right? Get a glass of water. Let me give you something else. Y'all, come on, give me some things you can do. Get into nature. Get your feet in some water somewhere by a nearby stream. I like getting into nature when I'm feeling anxiety because I'm thinking about all different type of things. Let me go take a walk. If you can't get in nature, go take a walk. I got another one for you. All right. Take some deep breaths. Do some deep breathing exercises. There you go. right? Take some deep breaths. All right, take a bath. Now we're getting it going. See, you already know this, but it's not if we know what to do. Many of us know what to do, but we don't do what we know. We know what to do, but we don't do what we know. Right? And let me tell you, it causes a problem in discrepancies in different areas of our life. All right. So I see I like sitting outside by Keisha, be still and meditate. There you go. Definitely breathing, take a bath, right? You're not always able to do that. Read a book, anything that gets. Now, I also like to brain bounce. I also like to focus on sacred geometry because I got to be still and quiet. So that's another one. I get still and quiet. I sit in a room with no sound on. I'll turn out all the lights and just sit and breathe. And I might do that for 30 minutes. And let me tell you though, I used to be scared to do that because I'm not going to get this done. I'm not going to get that done. I'm going to be running behind. You know what I realized? Man, that charged me up in such a way, and I got so focused that I was able to complete my task in 20 minutes instead of an hour and 30 minutes. 30 minutes instead of an hour and 30 minutes. So now the 30 minutes I took for myself to get centered didn't matter, right? Because the 30 minutes it took me to do the task and the 30 minutes I sat there got me so focused and my energy so right. You're way more productive. That's right, Noria. Right? You get way more productive. So it's not the time that you put in. Watch this. It's what you put into the time. It's not the time that you put in. It's what you put into the time space. And if you put in the evolution of consciousness, if your mindset is like mine, that time is the evolution of consciousness, then the time that I'm going to put in, I'm going to evolve this situation to my greatest good. And now I'm going to have a much better situation. Okay? So on this journey of the archetypes, we talk about these attributes and these super mental powers, extrasensory abilities, tapping into untapped psychic abilities, and all that's great. But you will get derailed by your shadows if you don't address them. They're like partitions. They're like walls in between you and where you want to be. Blockages. And when you remove those blockages, energy just flows where attention goes, right? If ain't no blockage there, you ain't got to put your attention on the blockage. So the energy don't go to the blockage. It go right into your what? Your heart. And when it goes into your heart, you're walking with the energy field that cannot be compromised, right? That's when no weapon formed against you will prosper. No weapon formed against you will prosper, right? That's where your energy field is. So take this information serious. This archetype today was dealing with evolving, understanding the power of synchronicity, and then how to navigate with that energy in these different, here on the earth, we're in the gravitational plane, but you can navigate in the ethers too, right? On the biopsychic plane, on the electromagnetic plane, you can navigate on those areas too if you're on that frequency. All right, but that's what you want to be able to do. And as you get better at navigating, you'll receive intuition differently. And that intuition will bring instructions from the divine on exactly what you need to do. Now, don't be so intelligent and logical that you say, I think it will work better this way, even though the intuition told me this way, right? You're going to get skin up. It ain't going to work. Do it exactly as you're shown intuitively, and you're going to experience dynamic results. All right. We also talked about the shadow wisdom. So these are the blockages. Work on being more present. You ain't got to be present all the time, but if you're in an important meeting, if you're listening to your children, if you're doing something that's really important to you, don't sit there with a phone in your hand or be thinking about something else. Or you got some adjusting to do. Maybe the person don't need to be in your inner circle, or maybe you don't need to be in their inner circle. But don't waste each other's time and energy and space. Okay. Don't be an overthinker. Don't over criticize. Don't over interpret signs, symbols, and dreams. A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out what their dreams mean. And when there's something called dream intelligence, and that is dealing with the archetype, the knight and the warrior, or the pathfinder. And when dream intelligence comes, it's a clear picture of what it means. You know, you don't have to go get it interpreted, because someone else might not be able to interpret it because it was for you. What's for you is for you. So you just have to trust. You know, what happens is we got to go outside of ourselves oftentimes when we don't trust what we heard. Did I hear that? Let me see what if I put this on someone else to listen, what they will say about it. Okay. And so then again, 1% doubt and you're out. You're creating a conflict that you can't really trust or have the primal trust for the intuition the spirit is giving you. God is communicating with you through the spirit, and the medium is intuition, right? That's God speaking to us. And if we deny that, then okay, we're going bear hunting with a switch now. Chances are we're going to get mauled, and the bad experiences are going to trigger your memory into a traumatic experience. So we have to be careful about all of this. I really trust that this is helpful. We have 3 more sessions to do of the journey of the archetypes. And then we'll be evaluating how often to come on here. But I trust that this is helping some of you learn about the cosmology. Get your kin number, because it kind of ushers you into this galactic consciousness. Don't be afraid of it. If you're aware of it, and you kind of want it, but you're worried about how you look, how you gonna look, don't do that, because it don't matter how you look. What matters how you are. You can look good and be bad, right? So it ain't about how you look, right? It's about how you are. All right. You can email me. I tell you to definitely reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Neb_Taharka. You can reach out to me on Clubhouse. Just reach out to me if you got any questions. This is a divine time. And one last thing. I'm going to share a quick video. We're going to do a session tomorrow night. It's going to be spellbound, because we're going to be talking about, right, the future portals that's coming up on the 260 day calendar, the future portals, and living in the new time. Now, tomorrow night, we'll be on here talking about that and the archetype of the mirror, right? The mirror universe. So it's going to be really powerful. So it's going to be a little bit different tomorrow, because I have some PowerPoint slides up and things of that nature. Let me run a quick clip about what this is all about in these future portals. And if you guys got about 2 minutes, it is not even 2 minutes, listen to the clip and you can register for this. It's not a cost, but it really will enlighten you to be in this session to move into your evolutionary trajectory. So I'm going to just jump off before I say goodbye. Listen to the video and watch the video, and we'll go ahead and end after that.
I could have
All right. So we're going to close out. We'll put the registration link in here. Register. We definitely want to reach out to you and make sure we equip you so that if you want to further yourself on this journey, you have what you need in terms of equipping to prepare yourself to be able to evolve in a lot of different directions and angles. All right. So we'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well. And with that being said, it has truly been my pleasure as well as a privilege sharing this powerful knowledge with you. I am so delighted, and we got 3 more times. So I really hope you join us and tell other people about this. All right. I'll end by saying, in Lakesh, I am another you. Alakim, you are another me. Hotep, Hetepu, and Namaste. And remember, evolution is the solution. Peace.